Hello, friends. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. I'm Julia. My pronouns are they, them. And welcome to my little corner of Flosstube. It's been a few weeks. Um, if I look a little rough, sound a little rough, am slow, a little brain foggy, please just bear with me. I live with some pretty significant chronic pain that flares up from time to time, often when the weather is extreme. Weather in Canada is a little extreme. It's just very cold. And we've been having some snow, so the barometric pressure has been fluctuating quite a bit, and that tends to make things not so much fun in Julia land. Excuse me. But I wanted to touch base with you because I have some updates and yeah. So if you are new here, welcome. It really means a lot to me that you decided to come and check me out. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. Of all the folks on Flosstube that you could choose to spend time with, it really means a lot that you're choosing to spend it with me. I hope you're all doing well. It's a rough one out there. I don't know what more to say. I mean, that's an understatement, right? It's a rough one out there. For those of you who are new here, I have opinions. I share those opinions. I try to speak the truth or my truth, and sometimes that delves into the realm of politics and human rights. So if that bothers you, I mean, I would ask that you would give me the benefit of the doubt, but if you feel that you need to dip out, that's fine. The rise of fascism in North America is terrifying, right? And none of us are okay. And it's all right to admit that we're not okay. Things are not okay. And it's really important to give ourselves a little bit of grace and rest, because that's how we fight it, right? You can't fight Nazis if you're exhausted. I say that as someone who has a cultural history of and has some knowledge and wisdom from my ancestors about that. So yeah, I don't have any words of wisdom beyond that. Take care of yourself. Watch the Olympics. I've been watching the Olympics. I've been loving women's hockey. I've been loving what Team America in women's hockey kicked some Canadian women's hockey arse yesterday. So it's gonna be a fun Olympic Games. And men's hockey starts tomorrow, I think, or at least Team Canada's first game is tomorrow, the 12th. Today is the 11th of February. It is a Wednesday. That's Pippin. Hello, Pippin. This is my fool of a took. Yes, are you a fool of a took? You're very food motivated. What was I saying? Taking care of yourself and watching the Olympics. I've been loving women's hockey. Looking forward to men's hockey. Still trying to wrap my head around curling. I don't hate curling. Curling doesn't make me mad. Still trying to wrap my head around it. Yeah, it's just cool. I think my favorite part of the Olympics, honestly, besides seeing just what the human body can do and what people can accomplish. My favorite thing really is seeing the sportsmanship. Two people who've been duking it out in competition. They want that medal. They want that medal. And the event's over and they just hug it out. And support, like, no matter who won what or lost what. They just put their arms around each other and smile and congratulate or encourage, or that makes my Grinchy heart grow a little bit, just a little bit. It's like watching, the Great British Bake Off, when everybody is just so kind and loving. We need more of that. We should be more of that. Anyway, what's my point? Taking care of yourself means that you can fight Nazis more effectively. That is my point. Anyway, normally I'm here to talk about cross stitch and knitting and spinning, and we're going to do that right now. 6 minutes and 20 seconds in. Valentine's Day is coming up. I do not necessarily care for Valentine's Day. I think it's overly commercialized, and I kind of resent the capitalistic messaging that if you do not spend gazillions of dollars on the person you love, that you don't really love them. And also, I have no romance in my soul. So it's a complicated day for me. I tend to just ignore it. However, some of you may or may not know I have this on again, off again knitting and cross stitch design business via Ko-fi. Last year, when I had the bandwidth to really work on that business more so than I have since then, I designed a little cross stitch freebie. I'm going to put the mock-up right here. It is free. It is on my Ko-fi. This is called Elijah's Valentine. Elijah is my cat. The other cat, you just met Pippin. Elijah is a long-haired orange and white kitty, and he has an anxiety disorder just like me, and he has separation anxiety, not just like me. And I found him behind the bins in front of my house in Philadelphia about 5 years ago when he was literally handheld, and he is my little soul cat. Anyway, so this is a cross stitch. It's called Elijah's Valentine. It is a rendering of my cat Elijah with a little love heart, and inside the love heart says, "You suck least," because that is kind of what I say to my partners, like, you suck the least. That is why we're together. I chose that because I have very snarky feelings about Valentine's Day, but I also chose that and I chose a very simple backstitch alphabet, and I made the love heart big enough that if you like Valentine's Day, or you don't like snark, or you don't like the word suck in your cross stitch, you can easily change the message to something else. You could change it to "I love you." You could change it to "be mine." There's a kitty. If you wanted to be a pun, you could say "you're perfect." You can make it your own, and I encourage you to do so. I did do a model stitch of this. If I can find a photograph of it, I will post it. A friend of mine last year was going through a really bad breakup around this time. Loves cats, so I stitched this up for her, and I made it into a little, just a really quick ornament with some mat board, and I did not I-cord, that's knitting. I did some cording with DMC to just put around it to make a little ornament, and I gave that to her with a card. And what did I do? I brought her a coffee. Yeah. But I might not have the picture of it, but you have definitely seen the mock-up. So that is free on my Ko-fi if you are interested. And it's a pretty quick stitch. So, let's talk about knitting. I finished the Erin Watch Cap by Charlene Church, which I got from the book Hats Off. It has been living on my partner's head very frequently, and I don't know where it is. Actually, I do know where it is. I think it is in the pocket of his winter coat, which is currently in our mudroom, which is where the dog is currently having a nap, and I don't want to disturb the dog. So here is a picture of the finished Erin Watch Cap. Turned out really well. Josh loves it, says it's super warm. It's been -20 to -24, not including the wind chill up here. It's keeping his head nice and warm. I love that. As I said last time, I've knit that hat probably 5 times by this point. It is, it's a really rewarding stitch. It's simple, it's easy to memorize, it's not boring. Good stuff. And I am still plugging away on my rib socks. I turned the heel on one of them, and I know they look really long and skinny, but they are a 2x2 rib, including the toes and the heels. This I actually need to rip back about 10 rows because I was knitting and realized I dropped a stitch. So I just need to go in on a little rescue mission today. And then I'm still working on the German short row heel of sock number 2. Really fun yarn, octopi yarn, I think. I will put this yarn dyer in the show notes. They are located in Perth, Ontario. I purchased this yarn at a yarn and fiber trunk show that the Ottawa Spinners and Weavers Guild put on in October and November of last year. So hopefully the next time I see you, those will be done. And I will be knitting different socks because I'm ready to knit different socks. Speaking of knitting, actually, I have some haul, but I'm going to show you that in a minute. I'm going to give you a spinning update. Also, while I was at the Ottawa Knitters and Weavers Guild little trunk show, I purchased some beautiful Shetland wool in a bat, and I've just been kind of pre-drafting it out into these little rovings. It's not technically roving because I haven't combed it. But I pre-drafted out, and then I can spin from this on my drop spindle. And here I'm about halfway done. Tuesdays are normally for spinning. I have not spun the last 2 Tuesdays because my hands have hurt. Sheila, Mrs. Stitches, had asked in my last video if I would film a demo of me spinning on a drop spindle. I do plan to do that. Hopefully next week. Hopefully. But I have another Flosstube extra coming up. Like a little fundraiser thing I'm participating in that I want to talk to you all about next week. So maybe the week after that. But I will do a spinning demo with the caveat I am not an expert. I am 95% self-taught. But it works. It produces yarn. And yeah, and it's fun. So now I got some haul from a new to me yarn dyer. Thank you to Sheila, Mrs. Stitches, for giving them a shout out. This is from Outhouse Yarn Co. on, I think, Briar Island, Nova Scotia? In Nova Scotia, in the Maritimes, and they have a little Flosstube channel. They tend to just post short vlogs of just life around their beautiful island. So I got a skein of sock yarn. This is called Big Meadow Bog. It is 75% superwash, 25% nylon, 100 grams, and I really like it. I can't wait. Trying to get the colors to show true. That's pretty true. So I'm looking forward to playing with this at some point. And also, at the time, they were selling bundles of mini skeins. This is called Weathered Lighthouse. 5 mini skeins of sock yarn. I just really love that palette. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I very rarely buy packs of minis because I have no idea what to do with packs of minis. There's part of me that wants to knit or design a cowl with these. But we'll see. Again, so this is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Each skein is 20 grams. So it's 100 grams total. Given that it had to get from Nova Scotia to Ontario during a massive, during the time when a massive weather system was moving eastward across southern Canada, it got here pretty fast. But yeah, I don't know if they had a brick and mortar shop. If they do, that would be fun. My family and I are tentatively planning a little road trip to the Maritimes this summer. And it would be really cool to visit them if they have a brick and mortar shop. So that is all I have for the yarn and fiber portion of the video. I keep looking. I have my notebook with my show notes over here beside me. So when you see me look over here and down, that's what I'm doing. So Emporium of Forgotten Threads, year-long memory project. Ann P., my dear friend of Emporium of Forgotten Threads here on YouTube and on Instagram, is doing sort of year-long stitch-along, read-along, craft-along themes. The year-long one is talking about memory and memories. And there was a book we had to read called The Museum of Forgotten Quilts, and some interesting prompts of things we could do crafting wise, be it starting something new, be it picking up an old whip that has strong memories attached to it. One of the things Anne is doing that I think is really amazing, and I can't wait to watch it grow over the year, is Anne reads a lot of books, like a lot. And she and a friend bought plain sweatshirts. And the plan is over the course of the year to embroider just little motifs all over it, each motif matching a theme of a book that they read, or that Anne reads. So I'm interested to see how Anne's sweatshirt fills up. I don't think I could Anne reads so much more than I do. Like, so much. She's amazing. Um, I have two year-long projects, one of which is a temperature cross stitch, and I am choosing to do the temperature Quaker pattern by Sarah of Stitchin' Mommy. And I am stitching mine 2/2 on a 28 count white linen. It's just from DMC. I got it from Michael's. I don't love working on it, but it could be a lot worse. And I'm glad I'm using DMC because I think I'm going to need to wash it before the year is out. I showed this to you last time. I was about halfway through January the last time we spoke. I have now finished January and I am 6 days into February. Let me see if I can, the light is precarious. So this is my Saturday stitch. I stitch this Saturday mornings after I get up and let the dog out and have my coffee and grunt at my partner. So, I feel like it's not showing up as well. We had a lot of cold days. This very palest lavender is the coldest color. That's for everything that is negative 11 degrees Celsius and below. We have routinely been below negative 18 around here. As you can see, we had a teeny tiny warm spot right here where we were actually into positive integers, single digits, but still positive integers. And then it went right back to being January. And then February's still cold, not bone chilling, but still cold. So that's how this is looking. Just gonna hold this here so I can take a screenshot next time. It's really nice. Every morning I look up what the high temperature of the previous day was and I write it in my day planner, and then on Saturdays I collect my data and choose the appropriate DMC threads and get stitching. So that is my first memory piece. I chose that because I've been wanting to do a temperature project for a long time, and I thought documenting the weather in our first calendar year in our new country, in our new city, was appropriate, something I wanted to do. And I really like Quakers. So that's working out pretty well. My second memory piece that I'm working on year long is a piece I'm stitching in memoriam of my maternal grandparents. And that is Forever and Ever by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is an oldie but a goodie. 2 cardinals. My partner Josh very kindly, very lovingly kitted this project up for me for Hanukkah this past year. I purchased this project, I purchased this pattern shortly after my maternal grandfather died, knowing that it was going to be for both of my grandparents, but that I wasn't going to start it until my grandmother left us. And she did last November, this past November. She was 101. And so for Hanukkah, Josh picked out fabric and floss for me. Now, this is charted in a floss that I do not use. And I wanted a Canadian company. I wanted to support local business. And so Josh found Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. So I am stitching this on a 36 count linen in Cloud Break by Roxy Floss Co. And Josh, who has a very good eye for color, went through all of the called for colors and matched as best he could with Roxy Floss Co. cotton. And here is how we're going. So I am stitching this in sections of 12. I would like to finish it, start and finish it this year. So I have broken the pattern down in just 13 stitch strips, horizontal strips. So this was January, and I've started February, and I really need to get cracking on February because it's a short month and it's the 11th already. But it's looking pretty good. Some of the greens are similar enough that it makes me paranoid. But when they're all stitched, I think it actually makes a nice gradient. So, I mean, obviously it's not a complete one-to-one, but I think it looks really nice so far. So here's where we are. That'll be a good before picture for next time. I'm stitching this 1/2. And it's looking great for me, especially, yeah. I know sometimes stitching 1/2 on a 36 count can be a little spotty in terms of coverage. This is fine. I'm really happy with it. I have been stitching a lot of two strands lately. I generally prefer to stitch with one strand because I think my stitches look nicer. It's purely about how nice my stitches look. So this is nice. Anyway, that is Forever and Ever, and that is my second Imperium of Forgotten Threads memory project. And then we've got a Mylestonn Manor update. Mylestonn Manor, as you may or may not know, is a game. It's the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on Flosstube, and it is a board game in which we choose a floor plan of a house or a mansion or an apartment, anything you want. I just printed out the floor plan of the board game Clue. Some people use the floor plan of their own home. Some people choose other floor plans. It's like you make it your own. So I have been stitching on 2 projects. I have been stitching on my hallway project, which is Gamer Nouveau by Medusa Dollmaker. I am stitching the chart that was produced by Gecko Rouge. They are no longer producing. I mean, it was officially licensed, by the way. They are no longer selling this. Medusa Dollmaker herself is not selling kits. She is selling the pattern. Now, the charting is different. The charting is different. You cannot start stitching, say, from this one and then buy a PDF of Medusa Dollmakers and expect to be able to continue on exactly where you were. It's going to not look good, so don't do that. This I am stitching for my partner Josh. I have been stitching this since 2017, and I am like 22% done. Very, very slow, although I am picking up the pace a little bit. The last time you saw this project, which incidentally is being stitched 1/1 full cross on a 25 count Magic Grid Lugana, it looked like that. So, all right, so for this round of Mylestonn Manor, first gamer got 450 stitches. I did not reach a milestone, so I lost a health point. And then I went into the study. I will show you the study in a minute. Came back, did the gamer again, just 210 stitches again, no milestone. And then I chose to go back into the study because I didn't feel that I had given that project enough love. I just finished up on that project. The next time I start stitching Mylestonn Manor stitching again, I will be going back to the gamer, and it's going to be getting 500 stitches. So anyway, in total, 650 stitches since you last saw it. 650 stitches. 500 stitches, I'm going to start a new page, but I'm going to finish 1 and 2 pages. So I will get XP and I will not die because I am down to 1 health point. So here she is. Hopefully YouTube will choose one of these shots with me holding a project and looking proud. And that'll be my thumbnail. We'll see. So yeah, she is plugging along. And so that's the hallway. And then I went into the study. And the study, my daughter chose to put What's in Here, which is artwork by Amy Brown, charted by Unconventional Cross Stitch. It has since been retired. It's going to look like this when it's done. It's a big one. I am stitching this 2/1 continental tent stitch on a 28 count pre-gridded Lugana. So the first time I stitched on this, it got 440 stitches and I got a milestone. I got it to 5%. 440 stitches did not feel like enough. So after I did my next hallway stitching, I rolled the dice for this project again and it got 1,800 stitches. So over 2,000 stitches went into this thing since the last time you saw it. No milestones the second time. And she big, so I'm gonna pull back a little bit. So as you can see, I filled in, I filled in some outline on the dragon's wings. I worked some in the pen, pencil, and paintbrush in the little pot behind the dragon, and I filled in a little bit of the outline of that pot, that little cup. And you can't see it very well. I also put in some really pale stitches. Yeah, I don't think you see it. So there's a cup, there's going to be a mug of a hot drink here. Maybe very faintly you can see right there. So very happy with the progress on that. So after my hallway stitching this time, I will choose another room. And that's Mylestonn Manor. Wow, we're done with all of the crafting. I can talk to you about books now. If you're not interested in the books, that's cool. If you are, stick around. I read some good ones. I'm in the middle of one right now, so I'll try to be as brief as I can. So the first book I read this year that I had not finished the last time we spoke, but I did finish, is this hefty chunk of a book, King Sorrow by Joe Hill. This book unseated his book Nosferatu, for my favorite of everything he's written so far in his life. This book affected me a great deal. I loved all of the characters, even the villain. It made me cry. Like, it made me cry. There's a part towards the end that just made me start weeping. Like not cute, dignified crying. Like my daughter and my partner came downstairs because they thought something was wrong, kind of crying. And it was really funny because my daughter got halfway in the room and I just kind of pointed to the book and she said, "Oh, okay," and turned around and went back up the stairs. It is about a group of friends and 25 years of friendship. When they are in college together, they summon a dragon because they think the dragon will help them with a problem that they have that seems really insurmountable. And that was a mistake. And you see them living with the consequences of that mistake for 25 years in the book. So friends, lovers, frenemies, family, people getting cooked, literally. Big, scary dragon with a British accent. I'm not doing it justice. But if you like dragons and you like spook and you like Joe Hill, it's worth it. It's worth it. And then I read, so one of the goals that I had for reading this year was to read a book that my daughter loves. I actually have several books that my daughter loves because she couldn't pick just one. The first one I read is, I'm not going to say the author's name because he is Vietnamese and I don't want to butcher it. And I will put a little picture of the cover here so you can see. It's called The Magic Fish. It is a young adult graphic novel. It is about a boy who is 13 years old. He lives in America. He's first generation American. His parents are immigrants from Vietnam. And he is gay. And he's afraid to come out because, well, number one, his number two reason is he's worried about how they're going to react. But his number one reason is he doesn't know how. He doesn't know the right words in Vietnamese to explain the fact that he's gay. He speaks mostly English in his daily life. His parents speak mostly Vietnamese in their daily life. But every evening, while his mom folds laundry or does mending, this boy sits with her on the couch and reads to her in English. So there's a lot going on in this book that you will zip through. Culture, identity, how does it feel when you're in a new place and you feel like maybe you're losing part of your culture, part of your identity? Language, how do you maintain a good relationship with your kid? How do you maintain relationships with family you left behind? And this is explored partially through the lens of folk tales. So there's a little bit of Cinderella, or a Vietnamese spin on Cinderella. Also a Vietnamese spin on The Little Mermaid. It is a very compassionate, sweet story. So many stories that involve having to come out to your parents. And if not tragically, then in a sad, sort of bittersweet way. This story does not. Spoiler, I guess, but also, you know, if you haven't read it and you have trauma surrounding a bad coming out experience, you might want to know that before you read this book. So I loved it. I'm glad my daughter shared it with me. So, The Magic Fish. And then I read for the January prompt for the book club, the Emporium of Forgotten Threads book club, is Gothic things. Do craft on Gothic things, read Gothic books. The first recommendation Anne made is a book by Silvia Moreno Garcia called Mexican Gothic, which I read a few years ago and loved. You should read it. I loved it. And she also recommended this book by T. Kingfisher called What Moves the Dead. Funnily enough, both of those books, both What Moves the Dead and Mexican Gothic, involve weird mushrooms, and I love mushrooms, just FYI. I think mycology is fascinating. I love fungus. When I took microbiology while I was in nursing school, I thought to myself, well, if I wash out of nursing school, I'll just get a degree in biology and study mushrooms. T. Kingfisher. So this is a quicken. And it's the first in a series of the Sworn Soldier series. So, broad strokes, this is a reimagining of Edgar Allan Poe's tale, The Fall of the House of Usher. It involves Alex Easton. And hang on. So what's fun about this series is the culture has 4 sets of pronouns. Don't clutch your pearls. So they have male and female, but they have a separate set of pronouns for children. So the thing being, like, people are going to look at you like you're a predator if you address a child or refer to a child using male or female pronouns, because they're not adults. They are children. And then there is a third sort of non-binary-ish set of pronouns that people of either male or female anatomy can choose when they become a sworn soldier in the military. This dates back from years and years ago, a time when a woman, someone who was assigned female at birth, wanted to join the military, and couldn't because they didn't allow women. So she said, okay, well then I'm not a woman, call me this instead. I'm not a woman, call me this instead. Our protagonist narrator, Alex Easton, is a sworn soldier. Is since retired. It's interesting. So when you retire from, or you give up your commission as a sworn soldier, you can choose to go by male or female pronouns, or you can choose to keep your non-binary pronouns. And Alex has chosen to keep I'm going to say theirs, but that's not correct in the story. Anyway, I just love little world buildings like that. Little backstory things. So my fellow queerdos, representation. It's gothic. It's creepy. It's got Beatrix Potter's cousin who's obsessed with mushrooms. It's a good, fun, spooky read. Something freaky's going on. What's going on? That's like, I'm not describing it well, but hopefully I have piqued your interest enough. Follow the House of Usher with fucked up rabbits. pardon the language. Or hares, I'm sorry, not rabbits, hares, different species. I had a good time. I'm glad I read it, and I look forward to reading the rest in the series. Yeah, like it's so. I'll just read you the back. I'm a friend of the ushers, I say. The servant nodded gravely at this information. Would you like to come inside? Yes, I said, aware that I was lying. I did not want to go into that tired house dripping with fungus and architectural eyes, but Madeline had summoned me, and here I was. That's a pretty gothic blurb. So, yeah. So thank you, Anne, for this. I look forward to discussing it on the Discord. And what I am reading currently, 46 minutes, good Lord. I am reading this book, Justice, Justice Shall You Pursue, which is a line from the Torah by my good friend, Jules Mermelstein. My friend wrote this book, and I love my friend, so I'm reading it. It is a legal thriller. The legal thriller parts of it are very, very good. There's a lot of inside baseball in terms of courtroom stuff, defense attorney stuff. The mystery is engaging. I want to know what happens. The history, the background, the hi, you know, I'm the protagonist and this is my story bit is kind of contrived and cheesy. And I hate to say that because my friend wrote this, but I also believe in being honest. So some of it, I want to say it's about 10% me cringing and 90% me being like, okay, all right, and then what? So, and it's also interesting because it is set in a neighborhood of Philadelphia where I used to live. So if you live in Montgomery County, PA, you know the cities and the towns, and Philly, you know Philly. So it's fun. I am just a hair over halfway through. It's a pretty quick read. I just haven't picked it up for a few days because I haven't been feeling well. It is like under 250 pages. And as I said last time, I just love a good Jewish protagonist who's not, you know, who's kind of a badass or trying to be a badass. We don't get very many of those in my culture, in our literature. So I will let you know my complete thoughts next time once I have finished it. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to read next. I think I'm leaning very heavily towards, and then there were none by Agatha Christie because I really want to see the 2015 miniseries. Mostly because I want to look at Charles Dance and Sam Neill and Miranda Richardson and watch them act. I am a simple human. That's all I have for you today, folks. If you're still here, thanks for bearing with me. I'm so bad at this. I think I'm supposed to tell you to like leave a thumbs up and subscribe and all of that. If you want to, that would be nice. Don't put yourself out. I'm going to be doing a fundraiser soon, and I have no idea what to do because I can't even ask you guys to give me a like and a subscribe. And I'm supposed to ask people for money for a worthy cause. You'll hear about it soon. Yeah. Oh gosh, I always get diarrhea of the mouth when I'm trying to close these videos. It's a problem. I hope you're doing well and taking care of yourself wherever you are in the world. And I hope that you know that you have value, that you matter, and you deserve to be taken care of. You deserve to take care of yourself. You deserve love. all the things. So I will see you in the next one, folks. Take good care.